Oh, sorry about that. I only had a mic on. Okay, so there we are. Um, Greetings, everyone, on this lovely Saturday night. I know some of you are probably out doing your various Saturday activities, especially with the whole pandemic thing slowing down, and you're able to go out and do things again, go clubbing, go partying, go bar hopping, travel from city to city. But for those of you who decided to be here with me, thank you. I know you could have been other places. You could have been on other YouTube channels, but as always, it is kind of flattering that you decide to spend a couple hours, or however long I decide to drag this out. But definitely, welcome to BMBBH. This is Kev, and just a reminder of you know just a reminder to check out the scroll ticker below your screen. Reminding you once again to please hit that like button. Share this video if you are a content creator that, of course, has 500 or more subs, or share it on your various social media platforms such as Facebook. I mean, anywhere. And if it is your first time here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Um, just Yeah, and I did make a couple promises on my community tab for this week, for this Saturday show, claiming that I see what this whole SBE thing is all about. The shame, blame, and explain, whether it is for a noble cause, or trying to make sure that this space stays on its purpose or stays on the up and up. I just don't believe that's what everybody's doing it for. But I'll get to explaining that in just a second. The title of this broadcast is very simply put as "Some of You Niggas Are Bitches Too." Got that from a couple rap songs, a couple rappers. One of them being Ice T. I'm pretty old school with it. A lot of people know Ice T the actor. I know Ice T the rapper and the actor. And Snoop Dogg, he said it in one of his songs. Some of you niggas are bitches too. And unfortunately, for spaces such as these on Black YouTube, some of you guys just, I don't get you. I mean, instead of thriving off the strength of your content, you're rather try to start conflicts, and try to keep up disarray between brothers. And I strive to work against that kind of thing, and someone has to say something sooner or later. So let me give some shout outs in the chat. uh, uh, wow. Okay, so I see Toya the tutor is already here. What's going on? Always good to see you. Hybrid Catastrophic Impact X83rd Power, I'm listening. We got Phil Brad. Uh, Faith M, what's going on? Good to see you. I mean, Hybrid said, "No one, no, you owe me a Happy Meal with a toy." What the fuck? Oh man, people still talking about that. People still talking about the whole, the McDonald's debate, and that's something that I didn't cover on this channel. I don't know. Maybe I felt like if I covered it on this channel, I would have gotten to the discussion late, and just didn't want to overplay the discussion itself. So it was discussed enough. It was debated enough. Or maybe I still might do it, but it's a little late for it. But let me put something on the screen. Mister Me Too, what's going on? Good to see you. Put some on the screen real quick. All right. Now, for those of you who pay attention to my community tab, um, I put this I put this graphic in my community tab, and it's a number of content creators, and their graphics or what they use to represent their images on this platform. And let me explain something to you guys real quick. I am not against any of these content creators in this graphic. In fact, like I said, I'm for the freedom of speech that comes along with being a black man who actually has the guts to come up here and speak their minds and speak their piece, because of course, we as black men, we have been socialized and conditioned to not do that. And in many instances, we are socialized to attack men that do this. And this graphic was brought together as sort of an attack against brothers who do this. These guys were labeled the SBE crew. And of course, SBE is the acronym that means shame, blame, and explain. Um, I'm not with labeling anyone. I like to really judge or make my assessment on content creators based on their content. And what draws me in really is if your content is interesting enough for me to actually sit there and listen to you for an hour, for 2 hours, however you decide to draw your content out. But my thing is I'm not into you know the hate that these guys and in the graphic and beyond the graphic as well receive. I mean, like I said, what up, re up? Um, like I said, I don't have a problem with any of these guys. I don't, but there seems like there's a few in the space that actually do. And one thing that we really have to work on, not only as black men but as a people, is we got to work on the way we perceive unity and the way we treat each other. And I understand that a lot of us don't like overly positive people because it just seems kind of phony and kind of sappy. I get that. I get that. So, and Ebo Sosa, what's going on? And like I said, the all these guys, they got several things in common. Number one, they seem to have gotten some success off of coming onto YouTube. They get a lot of views. They do pretty strong live broadcasts that numbers reach into triple digits. Somewhere I hope to be one day as far as my content goes. And I think I do myself. I have a pretty good platform, I would say. But there's still some goals and aspirations that I do have for it. But one thing I can say as a representative of the Black Manosphere is that number one, I do like the space. I do like the fact that brothers can get together on this space and, like I said, speak their minds, speak their piece, and really face a lot of criticism and a lot of adversity in doing so. And in this graphic is some of the guys that are, you know, some of these guys on here, like, they have they have done it. Like, but one thing that I did not appreciate is the fact that this graphic was used for something very stupid. Not the guys in particular, because if you notice, these are very familiar faces. Shoot, I'll just name them. O'Shea Duke Jackson, Angry Man, Bernard Riley, Black Ram 313, Fresh and Fit Podcast, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, Dennis Sperling, Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. The guy with the A on his hat that looks like Dr. BOA. Alpha Male Strategies, Coach Greg Adams, Obsidian, BGS Sipmore, Edward Anderson, Minister Jap, and The Roger Report. A content creator by the name of Rich the Bad Guy. Rich, I really don't have any problems initially with that particular content creator, but he wants to make it a point to show this graphic and call these guys the SBE crew, the shame, blame, and explain crew. Basically, going on this futile mission to convince the modern day female through shaming, through blaming them for certain ills in the black community, and the constant explanation of, you know, what they should, feel bad about in order to make them behave. And honestly, I don't know if any of these guys really do that. Now, people may say I'm maybe on some cap, that I may be lying or whatever, but listen up. I finally, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And I'm human. But I think I finally believe why this whole SBE thing is going around. And like I said, whatever purpose that it serves, whether it is to keep this space intact, or I even heard at one point that a couple of guys using SBE as a way of getting guys to stop trying to communicate with females in order to get them stop them from being labeled, or stop the space itself, the Black Manosphere, from being labeled a hate group. And I'm the kind of guy that's gonna be like, I don't me. This is just me now. I don't give a fuck. Grow some nuts. Say what the fuck you want to say to any of these folks. It's not it's not an issue with me for whoever is addressing whoever. I mean, if you do it in a disrespectful manner, then YouTube's community standards will take care of that. But I ran across something on Facebook in a Facebook group that I would like to show you guys. Um, and let me flip the graph. I'll flip back to this graphic and why exactly I'm doing this show. By the way, long live the habitual line steppers. I found this on Facebook. In this ever ongoing, what people like to call the gender war. Uh, I guess this was posted in a Facebook group years ago, and somebody posted the screenshots in the comment section. Uh, this was and I heard about this. When YouTube was going through its ad apocalypse, where basically corporate entities were saying that I guess YouTube was switching to a more politically correct format, in its attempt to pull in more sponsors, that they were going to review certain content and see if it fit the YouTube community standards. And what happened was a group of women, I would only assume that were uh, B dubs, went on this mission to get some channels struck down and taken down. And the results of this is a lot of content creators, uh, at the time lost their channel. Now, I believe this happened in 2017, 2016, something like that. Um, yeah, and a lot of these channels are very familiar. Yes, this was a hit list. You will see a lot of Black Manosphere guys that are on this hit list, and basically all of Tommy Sotomayor's channel. In fact, I remember a lot of these channels as well, and I used to watch quite a few of these channels. And I do remember that a lot of them got taken down. Uh, one in particular, I'm looking at this right now, is the Reluctant Nobby. That dude used to really go in. He used to really go in, and I mean, like, it was like these, he used to say stuff like, "These sisters so stupid," blah blah blah, and he was making some really good points. He was making some really good points, but he just the way he did it was just so vicious. But yeah, you see a lot of familiar names on here. You see Sergeant Willie Pete. You see O'Shea Vlogcast. BGS is up there. Kid Organic. Bitter Truth Show. Shoot, Bitter Truth downloaded a video today. Now, as a result of this, I mean, Rom Wills, Mad Bus Driver X, Thug Titian, Solo TV 2.0, Case Soul in Black, Sandman, David Carroll, Minister Jap. And as a result, like I said, a lot of channels got taken down. And one thing that I would say about Black men is this: we don't stoop to these tactics. We don't. Just being jazzy. What's going on? We don't stoop to these tactics as Black men. We kind of let other people rock. We don't flag, sisters who are being extremely hateful to Black men, but they'll turn around and do it to us nonetheless. Now, what we have learned in this process is this: we, when we have a channel taken down, all we have to do is put up another channel. Unless of course you're like Tommy Sotomayor. Every time you put up a channel, that channel gets taken down, and I believe he finally got like banned from YouTube, and I believe he's on OnlyFans right now. So for those of you, who want to check him out, just go over there. I'm not really advertising him because he has some shitty things to say about the space. But what happened with this was there was a lot of content creators that became fearful that this may happen to their channel again. And I mean, as you notice, Reg the Bad Guy's channel is up here on this list as well. Now, here's the point that I'm getting to. And let me go back to the graphic. This whole SBE thing, and I may be wrong, and there may be some guys out there that's gonna say, "Hey, Kev, dang one, what's going on?" There may be some people that Bridget Moulton, hey, how you doing? Um, the thing is this. The thing is this, and like I said, I may be wrong. Let me just go ahead and say it. When you put labels on content creators and you do it in such a way as to label them like this, and I'm going to tell you the truth, putting the Roger Report on this graphic really pissed me off. And the reason why that is because he's a habitual line stepper. If the same thing would have happened to Donnie Darskater or Sister George, I would have been just as pissed off. Don't fuck with the habitual line steppers, period. And that goes for Reg the Bad Guy. I'm sorry. When you do shit like this, it makes it look like if another hit list ever came up, and let me make sure that I'm speaking clearly enough, then you want the finger pointed in those guys' direction so the heat will be taken off of you. Let me repeat that. When you compile a image and you put that label on content creators and you specifically point certain content creators out, if another fucking hit list came up, then you would want the finger pointed in those guys' direction. Instead of doing better as a content creator on your own, you gotta fuck with other people. And that's some coward ass shit. That's some really cowardly shit. I know the Black Manosphere receives hatred. I know it does. A lot of people like to hop on the bandwagon of being against the space or whatever, but the content will stand on its own ground. If people are being too strong, if people are being too egregious, if people are being like saying shit that is too far out of the way, then YouTube will take care of it. And YouTube as a platform has the right to strike down anybody's channel that they want. Hell, if YouTube decides to say, "Hey, Kev, we decided that you should not have a channel on here," then that will very well happen. There's nothing I can do to control that. There's nothing I can do. The only thing that I can do if YouTube decides that I don't belong here is either make another channel or move on with my life. But I'm not a hater like that. I'm not a hater like that. I like to let the audience, I like to let the crowd to decide who belongs here and who doesn't belong here. Superfly Gamer Coonsum said women have no respect or dignity, just like they would tell everyone your secrets to everyone uh, to if you tell her just to crush your ego. Yeah, yeah, that's true. But one thing that I learned in working with a lot of dudes in my past with past jobs, especially when you're around the opposite sex, is some of you niggas are bitches too. Now, I don't mean you guys in particular. I don't mean the guys that are in the graphic that are up here on the picture. I don't necessarily mean them because they're successful in their own right. What I mean is what I mean is that as much as we do focus on the females, a lot of these guys around here carry on like they are females, and that's real like sad for me to say, but that's the reality. That's the reality that we all face, and like sitting up here trying to point the finger at certain content creators that proves that that proves that. Now, whether you want to believe it or not, some of these guys' bread and butter are YouTube. And so the fuck what? So what if their bread and butter is YouTube? But putting that label on them, and it's just like shout out to Edward Anderson, who was also in this graphic. I had a chance to check out some of his broadcasts from last night. Um, he himself was saying stuff like that they stick this stigma on the space like all we do is blame black women for everything. That's all we do. And I really hate hearing shit like that because it's like that's not all we do. It's like the people have this, especially our people, we have this tendency to pick out the things we don't like, and then we stick it on something that we just extremely hate. Like, it's like these content creators, they do a lot more than just talk about females. For instance, O'Shea does celebrity junk. A lot of people don't like that, but hey, if he's making money off of it, who are you to sit up there and criticize that? Shit, Black Ram 313. A lot of times I tune in on him. He's like, it's not about females in particular, and people can talk about females if they want as much as they talk about us. Are you fucking serious? Like, he's more like gloom and doom. He's been talking about the impending food shortages that's coming up. That might be a catastrophic event that might change the it might change how we do as a society. Shit, hell. BJS Itmore, he speaks a lot about politics. Even though people may not agree with a lot of it, I mean, it is what it is. Kevin Samuels is dead, and they still dragging Kevin Samuels into their shit. The little Luciferian, he was sitting up there like, you know, uh, we're still looking for a Messiah within Kevin Samuels. Now, I've said many times on this channel, and like, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels, that like, it's only the people who hate them that's trying to designate him as a leader just so they can be shitty toward the space. I've always said that nobody said this guy was any kind of leader. He's the lead as far as like views and sub count, and he really transcended and got to a level where a lot of these content creators would like to be. And don't let anyone bullshit you into believing that they don't want to do that. Like, shit, if you can have 1 million subs and you can get the revenue check that he was getting, I believe you would choose that shit. I believe a lot of you will quit your jobs and just focus on YouTube. Shoot, and talk all the shit you want until that money is in your face. You probably say do all kinds of cap, say all kinds of things. Shit, I wish I had some of that Kevin Samuels money. Now, I don't check out Coach Greg Adams too much. Alpha Male Strategies has written some books. I don't check him out too much either. But the Roger Report, they put the Roger Report up there. The Roger Report, because he actually cares about the direction of the community. And I understand a lot of people in this space don't. A lot of people in this space have given up hope on this community. Well, hope is kind of a suspect word to use anyway. I mean, but Roger's my boy. Shoot. I was one of the ones that encouraged Roger to come to this space in the first place. Not like, nah, I'm not taking credit for Roger's effort now when I say that. But when I started my YouTube channel, I knew Roger before he started his through social media. And I was like, look, Roger, man, you need to come up here and do something, man. Tell the world what you got. Tell the world what's on your mind. And Roger, he said that, he's had some friends that told him to try out YouTube. So I'm not going to take all the credit for that. But I'll just, I was just like, Roger, you need to do this, man. You need to start something up. And, and the rest is history. But to label someone, to label someone because, there are certain people that just can't mind their own fucking business. Come on, guys. Come on. Now this is the nice version. This is a nice version. you know, because see, the guys that say this shit, and I'm not particularly talking about Ramil and Ty City, because Ty City and Ramil started the acronym. Ty City's a pretty cool guy. Ramil, well, he's Ramil. But the other guys that push this, that just say SBE, 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 they've been talking shit about space for. They've been talking shit about the space and the black manosphere for like over a year, and no one really responds to them because guess what? And this might be a bombshell. They're not viewed as important. See, they are not viewed as important. See, nobody is spending their time going at them as much as they's come at us. Raven Knight, D Rock Den, what's going on? Told you the tutor, I just started watching The Boys today. Yeah, that is a really good show. That's a really good show. Season 3 just finished. Re-up. You bring up a really good point. Content creators are the new radio DJs of the internet. Howard Stern said wild shit for years. And guess what? Howard Stern became more famous. He was a shock jock. This is all this is. We're a bunch of shock jocks. But the difference between people like Howard Stern and people like us, of course, Howard Stern is white, is that, although some hate came his way, he didn't face nearly the hate from his people that we received from ours. Jessner Stewart, what's going on? Yeah, it's starting to. Yeah, this channel is starting to get like it was back in the day. Starting to see a lot of new names. And I mean, if you've been here before, Jessner Stewart, I apologize. I apologize for not recognizing who you are. But this is the first time I can recollect seeing you. Yeah, yeah. But the guys that are trying to throw this around now, the guys that are trying to use this SBE, they're actually trying to hijack it. They're trying to use it to now stick it on content creators that they don't particularly like or whatever. And this is this is my first time saying this. Look, guys, I know some of y'all be watching in the clouds or whatever. Cut it the fuck out. And most importantly, out of all this, guys, leave my boy Roger out of your shit. Cause let me see, as strong as Roger speaks on what he believes in, I'm 50 times worse than Roger. I just don't show it. I don't show it because I pick the perfect times to do things. I make sure that uh, whatever I say is strategic. I do it when the time comes. I don't need to. I don't need to do like you guys do and say stupid shit about the space or try to take little subtle digs or at people's masculinities or one of my favorite things to say to guys that do this, act like bitches. I don't need to do any of that. It's not my thing. My thing is to let people rock, even if I don't agree with them. So you do this. Let me post a link, and anybody that wants to come up, you can. But I hope y'all are hitting that like button on the way in. Look at the message across the screen. Super chat is available if you want to throw something in a collection plate. So is the Cash App. But look, I like to be part of the solution. I don't want to be part of the problem. If somebody just gonna bitch and moan and not be the solution, then I believe that we need to participate in a group effort to tell them to shut the fuck up. And I'll tell you this much. I'm not the type that really goes to anybody else's platform. Rael, what's going on? To express my gripes, but I just might start doing that. I just might. I'm not into the feuding, the beefing, the arguing. You know, because unlike I mean, but deep down, I actually liked the fact that there was a meetup telling guys to go get money and try to show them how to do other things besides just get on these platforms and talk shit. The further the progression of doing what's good for black men, helping black men get on their feet if they did in fact come to this space looking for help. And one thing that a lot of you guys have to understand, whether it looks like SBE or not, a lot of these guys, especially these guys on the graphic, are just employing a content strategy. You ever hear when these guys say that, that they look at their analytics and they see what works? Even if they're doing it for profitability, that's nothing that you should hate on. What's going on, Weather? RPM. What's going on? Who raised you, boy? What's going on? Says same with Bernard Riley. Bernard is just trying to put on a good show. He allows SBE on his channel, but deep down he knows SBE is bullshit. I mean, but I'm gonna repeat what I said because, like, here we go. Because this happened years ago. A lot of people, a lot of the guys that are currently in the space, they're kind of shook up a little bit. This was the previous hit list during the apocalypse. And when I was just a YouTube spectator, I did notice a lot of channels disappeared. In particular, Tommy Sotomayor's channels, like all of his channels disappeared, and all of his channels are on this list. Like this last page ain't nothing but Tommy channels. But there are a lot of familiar names up here. See Mad Bus Driver X, Reg the Bad Guy, BGS Zipmore, O-Shape Vlogcast, Angry Man, Minister Jap, David Carroll, Solo TV 84, K Soul in Black. A lot of guys are afraid this is going to happen again. Let me tell you why it's going to be really tough to do this again. Because if you are a content creator that is monetized, that you understand and know that there is a review system. Not talking down to people or anything, but there's a review system. Okay, there's $3 that you can get when you do a video, when you do a broadcast, when you do anything. There's the green dollar sign, which means that basically your video is cool. All advertisers can advertise on your video. Then there's the yellow dollar sign, which means that you can get limited ads. That certain people will not advertise on your channel. I mean, on that particular broadcast, which I believe is BS because I've tried this. I'll look at my video from other channels and it'll be the same damn ads. But I believe that's just an excuse to not pay you as much. And then there's the red dollar sign, which means um, that either your video isn't fit to receive ads on it. For some reason, I've had that happen to one video, and that was my Peyton Gendron video. Of course, for those of you who recognize that name, Peyton Gendron is the guy who shot those 10 black people in the Tops Friendly market in let me see, Buffalo, New York. I don't know why that particular video got struck for ads. No, I'm not going at Black Ram 313. I'm not. I'm not. In fact, I'm not going at any of these guys. I'm not going at any of these guys. Let me make something clear. I am not against any of these content creators. I am not against any of them. Not one. Not one up here I am against. I may not agree with 100% of what they say. And who the fuck does that? Who agrees with 100% of what anyone says? So let's get it. Red dollar sign means that you don't get ads and you don't get paid. Yellow dollar sign means limited ads on your video. Green dollar sign means your video is good to go. Why isn't Tariq Nasheed on this list? Tariq Nasheed is on this list somewhere. Yeah, just like I thought I saw Tariq Nasheed's name on there. And why is there Peter Frank, the question you have to ask yourself is why is anyone's channel on that list? Because none of the sisterhoods names are on this list. None of the channels that go at black men in such egregious ways are on that list. All these fuck black men channels are not on this list. Yep. He said Tariq is inciting violence on at immigrants. He needs to go. Weather says Bernard, Roger, Black Ram. I rock with them heavy. The other dudes I've never been fans of. Minister Knapp to me is a lame. Just something about that dude is suspect. Hey, you ain't gotta like it. Like you don't have to like the guys. Well, I mean, that is very well your opinion. That is very well your opinion. For real. And this list is old. This list is old too. I mean, I just looked at Facebook in a Facebook group one day, and I just happened to run across this list. I mean, somebody posted it in a comment section. I mean, the guy who posted it, he posted it to make the point of like, we'll never forget this happened. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. He said, when you speak facts about the destruction of the black community and the part women play, they love to call it hatred. That shit is getting old. Rael says black women are content taking a check to destroy their group. They are a new breed of human. Uh, if you want to call it that. The problem is this, though, when other men start to emulate women. So let me take this down. Let me take this down. I said TVA already exposed dude for how he really moves. Say what you want about TVA. That man will call guys out whenever, wherever. Uh, TVA, he's a guy I respect because he'll go into the lion's den and like with guns ablazing. Rael doesn't agree, but for someone that has gone on Ramil's channel and Thai City channel and has received the even Grandmaster Troll, and has received the vitriol that he has received, I mean, I can say that a lot of people cannot take that level of criticism. But he goes in full on, and he sticks by his he sticks to his guns. So I mean, no matter how you feel about the guy, I mean, he that's what he does. And not to say that Rael isn't like that either. Rael is a person that sticks to his guns as well. But you know, whether I agree or disagree with the things that TVA says, there is something that I can respect about that. TBA is a coward. He's an overweight coward who hides himself. TVA is cammed up plenty of times, dude. I don't believe he's hiding. He's a guy that cams up. I mean, if you go to his channel, he has plenty of videos with his face on it. I mean, if that's what you mean. But just guys like that can speak up for themselves. I mean, I can only say so much. Dane Juan says the shit is sad, but some niggas do what females do for brownie points, like they gonna get the panty draws. Yeah, that kind of is the case. See, that's the basis of simping right there. They expect to be rewarded for they expect to be rewarded for attacking other dudes, or trying to imply that other dudes is on here and all they do is just attack women and bash women. Let me tell you something. I don't trust guys that say that. I don't trust guys that say bullshit like these guys are just bashing black women. I mean, shoot, Toya's still in the chat. Toya, do you feel bashed when you come to the Black Manosphere to listen to the content? Do you feel bashed? Because I know that a lot of people, say stuff like that we might be using you to go at the sisterhood, or we might be trying to convince you to, use you as a weapon or whatever the case may be. But do you feel bashed, Toya? Toya says not even a little bit. Re-up says cats be acting like YouTube is some street shit, free entertainment, bro. Exactly. Exactly. You got everything in this space. You got news, you got comedy, you got drama. I mean, you got a lot of good information, like you got people trying to tell you things that will improve your life, but like we only pay attention to stuff that we don't like, and that's a problem. Hybrid catastrophic impact 83rd power says the word bash gets thrown around like a frisbee. I cannot stand to hear, like, women, they use the word bashing, but I cannot stand to hear a grown man use that word. I can't. Whether TVA made that video from his truck, I got to duck out for a minute. He deleted all his videos attacking black women because he's ducking a black female. DA. Ooh, didn't know that. Didn't know that, but I don't have the full story on that. Oh, Toya's answered my question. Not even a little bit. Said not even a little bit. Toya has Toya has what many would like to call thick skin. Like she's not triggered by everything. I remember the first time Toya pulled up on one of my shows. Yeah, yeah. In fact, it was her. I believe that was her introduction to this channel, and she was being grilled by the guys on the panel, and she didn't take it as she was being shitted on or these guys were really trying to cut into her or whatever. She 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 took it like a champ, and she's been here ever since, and we have enjoyed her company. Uh, Rael says you can't go into women's spaces and get the type of info you get in the manosphere. Female content is nothing but a bunch of bitter, angry hoes with swamp. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, because I see this person back here named Willie, and I don't know who that person is, but I have a pretty good clue. As you know, hold on one second, Willie. I'm about to let you up, but I got to protect this channel. All right, what's going on, Willie?
Hey, what's up, man? I just wanted to make a couple comments about your channel. I just wanted to say fuck you and your channel. I hate your content. You have the worst channel on YouTube.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, this is basically the worst content that's on YouTube in the whole manosphere. It's the worst channel in the whole manosphere. That's why you don't have that many subscribers.
Okay, anything else?
Man, you ain't nothing but a bitch. Fuck you, motherfucker. You a hoe.
Okay, I think that there's some people that would feel very differently, but yeah, man. Let me. I was about to ask him some questions too, man. I don't know. I'm a little entertained by people like that. I mean, plus I knew that was him. Yeah, yeah. I knew it was that guy. That's why I let him up. I mean, shit. Say I don't have that many subs. Let me tell you something. If this channel has any shortcomings, I blame me for it. You know, shoot. Is that Hybrid said the same fool? Dane once said I hate it when black men cape up just random disrespect for women in general. Yeah, but let me tell y'all something, man. That's just you got to be. you got to be ready for people like that. Re-up said he needed to vent. And Anthony Drosos, what's going on, man? He said, "Wait, we've heard him before." Yeah. Jay Bond said, "Hello, I'm new here, sir. Hello, sir, I'm new here. Have you subbed? Hopefully you subbed, man. For real, for real. Shoot, yeah, help this channel grow." Ivan Raid, what's going on? He said that was BAN that just spoke. Suppose BAN is bitch ass nigga. He said, yet, yet, and still he in the clouds. Said, what is this channel about? The J Bond, this channel is a Black Manosphere channel. Basically, I speak on this channel as your regular, average, everyday black man. But if you want to know, if you want to know more about the channel, the people in the comments can tell you they are frequenters of this channel. They are very dedicated, and I am grateful to have them here each and every time I broadcast. Whether they said that sounds like Ed with a voice changer. Let me confirm that that is not Edward Anderson. In fact, I believe he used to come up here just to cuss Edward out back in the day. Um, so it is what it is. Yeah. So yeah. Let me get back to the subject matter. Because I'm not just gonna talk about haters of the manosphere. Oh, speaking of haters of the manosphere, that FD signifier guy keeps making videos about the manosphere. He keeps the one that say that he supposedly broke down the manosphere or some shit like that. He's a guy with dreads, glasses. He is a what he sounds like an intersectional feminist. And Jesus, I can't stand guys who are I can't stand black men who are intersectional feminists. It's like I can't roll with their speaking, their rhetoric. It's like they try to use a lot of big words to make themselves sound intelligent, but they're very easy to break down and to decipher. I mean, if you're just unless you're just fucking drunk or you're on some kind of drug besides weed, they're very easy to figure out. Is they really speak on behalf of sisters who really tell them what their point of view should be. But he said, "What is that in intersectional feminist?" Said he thinks he gonna get some pussy points for kissing chicks' asses. Oh man, but anyway, shit. I mean, they're like, I wonder if if I did like a Manosphere disagreement day, would any of these haters come to this platform to tell me why they hate the Manosphere so much? I've been thinking about doing that one for a while. I would just be talking about random stuff. I would drop the link and see if anybody wants to come up and tell me what their problem is with the Black Manosphere. Just with the space. See, because I don't know. I just kind of like to do shit like that. Sink my teeth into stuff like that. But I haven't really pulled the trigger on something like that. What do y'all think? Do y'all think I should do like a Manosphere disagreement day? Because a lot of people love to talk shit about the space, especially that guy said those dudes down the street. It's just like I'm beginning to really dislike that guy. But it's like tell like I would like for people to tell me exactly why they hate the space and the guys in it, because I consider myself to be in the space. Weather said last week that I was fringe, which I'll take that. Let's see. Dane one, intersectional feminist said that's the PC way of saying a bitch boy. Well, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. I would take that. Weather said I hate this space, not because how they talk about black women, is because all the dudes do is talk about black women. But people in the space know where I stand and that I support regardless. Mr. Me Too, I told you the two. Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm sure most of them are only doing what they were raised to do. That's why spaces like this in the Roger Report is so needed. Oh, I appreciate that. Jay Bond said, I know a father who became a feminist because his daughter was assaulted, and the guy got away with it because his daughter was not believed until he got caught doing it with a child. Um, look, I'm sorry when anything happens to a female. See, I'm a man with a daughter myself, and if something ever happened to her due to some maniac, I'm not looking for justice, I'm looking for destruction. Justice is fine. The police better get to him first. But if I get to him, I'm killing him. I'm gonna destroy him. I'm gonna tear his fucking heart out. But one thing I'm probably not gonna do is become a feminist. If you are a black man listening and you have a daughter and something happens to her and you become a feminist, that is your prerogative. That is your prerogative. You can do what you want to do, but that's not the route I'm taking. Somebody does something to my daughter, the fucker is dead, and that is all there is to it. And whether I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. That that there are a lot of guys that you say you like. There are guys you don't hate it because black women get talked about. You hate it because that's all some of the guys talk about is black women. That is the issue with the space. That is with the issue with the space. And um I myself, I can only speak for myself, and based on my content, if that assessment is ever made, the only thing that I'm going to say that is false, and then I'll move forward. Let's see. Re-up says black men out here getting 61 bullets in them. We got real issues headed our way. Um, yeah, I think the kid was named Jalen Walker. Yeah, he like I don't know if it was a car chase or now I don't even think it was a car chase. It was a traffic stop, and this is my understanding of the story itself. Um, he got out the car and tried to run away from the cops, and they asked him to freeze, and next thing you know, they shoot at him 90 times, and of those 90 times, 60 bullets hit him, and they still handcuffed him after they shot him 60 times. Very disturbing. Very disturbing. And yeah, that is an issue. I agree with that. I agree with that. Anthony Drosso says, my daughter is one of the reasons I don't support feminism. Let me tell you something. My daughter is the reason why I'm one of those guys that My daughter in particular is one of the reasons why I'm one that pushes truth. I do not want my daughter to follow the examples of the modern female. And I'm doing everything I can to prepare her to actually have a realistic view on life. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you the future, so, my hope is that she doesn't turn out when she gets older like the modern day female. From her characteristics, I can see that she's not going in that direction. She lives in a balanced household, and her dad really loves her. And whenever I see her doing wrong or anything, I check her right then and there, and she snaps right into place. I mean, she's a little playful, but she's a very smart girl. And one thing that you know, one thing that I do think about is the examples that she has to follow, and I can't have her following these examples I see out here. I can't. Mulatto Vanguard, what's going on? Good to see you, brother. Anthony Drosso said, I heard it was a star that went to car chase to foot chase, but he supposedly fired at them first. Uh, okay. No, he didn't. He did not fire him first. He was unarmed when they loaded him with bullets. He was unarmed. He was handcuffed even at the morgue. Wow. Well, what do y'all think about that? You think he should be dead? You think he deserved to die? Because, like, whether you believe that he deserved to die or not, whether you believe that he deserved to die or not, there are plenty of white guys that have done a lot worse that were arrested without incident, fully armed. One of them was Peyton Gendron. Now, if you know that was a black man with a gun in his hand, they would have fucked him up. Weather says, Kev, the only black women that are off limits are the ones in my circle. That goes for women in my circle, period, which includes non-black women. Any man harms them, and it's Frank Castle time. Mm-hmm. Re-up. But if he was white, you could shoot at the police, kill kids in elementary school, and still be arrested. Yeah, there are many examples to support that. There are many examples. There are many examples. So, I mean, as a black man, you should understand and know the situation that you are in when you are in this country. We have to be smarter. I mean, we have, and unfortunately, that's the reality. We got to be smarter than everybody else. Guess what, guys? Someone disliked the broadcast.
Now I'm feeling objectified by your male gaze.
Yep. Guys, that means if you're watching in the clouds and you dislike my broadcast, I will celebrate them. Dane One says my daughter is 18, but still. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, she always gonna be your baby. She always gonna be your baby. No matter how old she gets, no matter how old she gets, man, you gonna always remember the first time you held her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're always gonna remember that, and that's me right there. I always remember the first time I held her. She just keeps growing and she keeps growing, but that's how it is. That's how it is. Now, let me go ahead and put the graphic back on the screen real quick. All right, let me give you a slight recap. All right, this graphic was used in a thumbnail by Reg the Bad Guy, and Reg the Bad Guy. Yes, I'm saying his name again and again. Called these guys the SBE crew. Basically, SBE means shame, blame, and explain. Um, from what I do understand about these content creators, the ones that would probably come closest to that narrative would probably be Fresh and Fit. Not to say anything negative about those guys because they got enough people saying stuff negative about them. But the way that they are going, they are making a lot of money. Yes, they are. And when it comes to a black man, well, at least one of them is black. The other one is Middle Eastern. Um, I don't have anything against that. But the thing, but the what up, Shaka Nulu? What's going on? Good to see you, brother. But the thing is that really got under my skin was the fact that the Roger Report is in this graphic. And the Roger Report is basically fam. Like not like real family or anything like that, but we're both habitual line steppers, and I'm the guy that since I'm serious when it comes to protecting my crew. Um, if you mess with the Roger Report, you mess with me. I've even said certain things about Sister George in the past, like alluded to the same thing because she's a habitual line stepper also. I've had somebody show up to one of my comment sections saying that I'm unsubscribing because you took up for Sister George. And I mean, like, I was like, bye. I mean, whereas I lose a sub, I'll gain a few more. And that's always how it's been. I'll lose a sub, I'll gain a few more subs. Shoot, I mean, it's not like YouTube, I would say, isn't life. I enjoy YouTube. I enjoy coming up here, but it's not life. Now, if it turns out that I start making an income from YouTube, like a substantial income, then YouTube will become life. But until then, you know, but until then, it's I do this because I want to do it. I do this, of my own free will, and And no matter what is said about me or said about anyone else, is not going to weaken my resolve for coming up here and speaking to you guys. They say he has Black Ram but not Red Supreme. You know what? No slight to Red Supreme, but I was kind of wondering that too. I was kind of wondering that too. It's like all Red Supreme does is talk about bitches. That's all he does. And Black Ram, I'm not against. And like I said, and let me say it again. I'm not against any of these guys. Do your thing, guys. I hope y'all make all the money in the world from this. Create a blackmail media that is formidable and create a blackmail media that can gain an outreach that will actually affect some change. Cortez Smith, what's going on? LOL, Red literally got done roasting them. And I mean, like, it ain't like, and let me tell you something, whether you want to go with SBE or not, it ain't like they're not giving us, they're not giving people a lot of shit to talk about. Shoot, that video I just posted about the girls, the three that tore up that restaurant in New York City, because there are some reports that say that they were upset. Cortez Smith, what's this picture about? Okay, I'll state it again. What up, Ray Hummer? Good to see you, brother. Let me state it again. Red's the bad guy used this graphic with all these brothers in the picture as a thumbnail and called them the SBE crew. The SBE is the acronym that stands for shame, blame, and explain. Basically, and my theory is they're putting a label on the brother. They're putting a label on these brothers as a way of, if there is another hit list that is created, that these are the ones who are going to get the finger pointed at them. And for those of you who remember the hit list and the adpocalypse, I found a copy of the hit list on Facebook. So, yeah, and like I said, I don't have a problem per se with Reg the bad guy. I don't have a problem with him. It's just that, I'll tell him like I'll tell anyone else. You ain't gotta act like a bitch. You ain't gotta do this. You ain't gotta do this. You ain't gotta stick labels on people just for whatever reason. Like you just because like I say, a lot of these guys here, they have seen some success on YouTube. If you want to call that, if you want to call that success. Cortez Smith said RAM isn't SBE. BOA isn't SBE. Reg be talking like a Kansas City who raised you, boy? What is SBE, guys? SBE is an acronym meaning shame, blame, and explain. Basically saying that this is that these are guys that are trying to basically talk to females and convince them to change their ways. The modern female change their ways, come back to the table instead of being a hoe, be wifey, shit like that. And I do agree with that. A lot of that speech is very feudal, and it gets repetitive and gets tiresome. For one, I'm not gonna convince a hoe not to be a hoe. If she's had 500 dicks in her, what makes me believe that she will change and become wifey? I mean, it's whatever on that. Let me read this. Kev, there it was a black woman Dollar General employee who shot another black woman after losing a fight. They're literally going viral almost every day. Mm, wow. Shit. B Dubs is the new nigga. Shit. Cortez Smith says all these dudes, regardless of whether they like each other, should come together and roast him for that BS. Let me tell you something, man. Look, Reg and his I don't know, and his Elvin super Reg and his Elvin buddy Super Slide, they've been taking swipes at the Black Manosphere for over a year now. I would tell you guys why, but because let me tell you something. I called Roger and told him to take a look at this broadcast. We were just sitting up here laughing because it was just a lot of bitching and moaning going on. So we know why they talk like this or refer to this space like this. We know why. We watched that broadcast. You know, But what I was about to say was a lot of the guys that are in the graphic, they don't respond to a lot of the hate the Black Manosphere gets because these guys aren't special. They aren't of any significance to those guys. They're not. And it has to feel bad that you take so many swipes and you dish out so many insults, even bringing the guy's manhood into question. And they never get that. That's one thing about Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels never responded to any of the haters. And I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with Super Sly on the reason he said Kevin Samuels never responded to haters. He said he never responded to haters because Kevin Samuels had so many minions doing it for him. No, Kevin Samuels was a lot bigger than a lot of those haters. You respond to people unilaterally. You respond to them on a level basis. Like that's why he said things about people like Dr. Umar. That's why he said things about Vivica Fox. That's why, he said that whatever he said about Nicki Minaj, but the whole Nicki Minaj thing was after the fact because they were either on his level or above him. What would KS look like? Yeah. Hybrid, like he chose not to punch down. What would Kevin Samuels looking like reaching down to ask Red the Badge guy why you saying all this stuff? I mean he can't now because he's dead, but I mean shit. I understand. Gyogamy, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Say greetings to all. Long live the habitual line steppers. Long live, brother. Hybrid Catastrophic says Kevin. Okay. There's a weather said the only dude Super Sly can punk is Gabe A. Shit, I mean, when you're a part of the Lollipop Guild, there's not many people you can punk. let's just let's be a little brutally honest here. I mean, shit. Would I let a guy punk me and I look down on him? Like, literally? No. Fuck all that. Hurry up and buy. What's going on? What's going on, my brother? Shoot. Cortez, you stay in Birmingham? I'm from Montgomery. That's my city of birth, Montgomery, Alabama. Yeah. Let's yeah. Let me say 60 goddess. I'm chilling, my brother. There's been a lot of fugazi going on in these YouTube streets. A lot of guys don't want peace. Greg, what's going on? Good to see you. Now, for those of you who are just going, for those of you who are just tuning in, for those of you just tuning in, the name of this broadcast is called "Some of You Niggas Are Bitches Too," and what inspired this broadcast was there's a lot of finger pointing going on in the space because, and I believe that is all birthed from fear. No person should fear. If you are a content creator, you should not fear talking about whatever you want to talk about. And you shouldn't let anyone shame you out of it. If you let anyone shame you out of speaking your mind on this platform, then you should not be on this platform. I personally can't tell you what to do, but it's just a piece of safe advice. If you're going to let someone shame you out of speaking how you want to speak, then hey, get the fuck off YouTube. Go hide in the corner somewhere. Go take Super Slide spot in the Lollipop Guild. I mean, do what you need to do. Yeah. But I'm on record of saying I don't have anything against these guys that are in the picture. But this is my first and only time saying this. No, it probably won't be my only time. You know, who knows what the future will bring. But don't fuck with the Roger report. Roger doesn't respond to anybody. Roger stays steadfast by his views. In fact, you heard what he said on Friday. For those of you who watched him on Friday, he said that if they're saying stuff about me, then their channels just went up a level because they should be talking about me. Weather said he knew he could say fuck your kids to Gabe A without much pushback. But to other dudes with kids, he wouldn't dare say that because he knows better. Yeah. Shh. Niggas on the internet love to act tough. They love to act tough because they know people can't reach their Wi-Fi connection and knock the shit out of them. All right. Oh, thank you for the Cash App, Greg. Really appreciate that once again, brother. Appreciate all the support I get. Until they see you in person. Yeah. I mean, I've seen it happen a few times. Especially on YouTube, a guy that be talking tough and talking cash shit would they'll pull up they'll pull up to the guy that in real life, and then all of a sudden the whole tune just changes. Let's see what Hurry Up and Buy says. If you want me to be honest, this is what happens when the head guy sort of leaves the mantle. It falls apart even though KS was the de facto leader of the Black Manosphere. Now it's war all over the place. Hybrid Catastrophic Impact X83rd Power says keyboard warriors tend to be cats that done got their ass whooped quite a number of times in real life. Hey, you know what though? Here's the thing about that. There's a lot of guys that probably got their ass whooped, were probably dished out a lot more ass whoopings. Um, but for the most part, if you if you act like a tough guy, especially in these YouTube streets, and sit up there and talk about and shit on people all the time, knowing that you can't, meet that same expectation in real life, is probably because you didn't have the balls to fight in the first place. Yeah, yeah. Keyboard warrior is a keyboard warrior, and is probably someone that has avoided conflict in real life. I could tell you this. I'm one, like, not because I'm one that didn't get into too many fights growing up, and it's because I was, and it wasn't because I was afraid or anything like that. Let me stop lying. I got into quite a few scuffles, but for the most part, um, I was the one that tried to stay away from trouble because I was the guy I was the guy that would rather see brothers be peaceful. I was the one that listened to the rap songs like Self Destruction and We're All in the Same Gang. I mean, that's old school for those of you for those of you youngins out there. Uh, Look up Self Destruction rap song and We're All in the Same gang. I don't know what they called the collective. It was kind of like a We Are the World, but for rappers. Um, Yeah, he said they are all jockeying for that top spot, but what they fail to realize is that YouTube lets the algorithm for to who they decide, not to the creators. If you want to know the truth, yeah, that's why a lot of these black women that shit all over black men. That's why they got such massive followings because if you want the honest truth about this, no pun intended, um, that's what Western society and culture dictates. Louis Conyer, what's going on? Whether this is like the first Godfather when Vito died, there's except there's no Michael to consolidate power. When he took out Tartaglia, Barzini, Cuneo, and Strosky uh, during his nephew's baptism. You can tell I've never watched The Godfather before. I mean, I've never watched The Godfather. I mean, maybe, and to make it so bad, my dad loves that film and watched it many times. I've never sat down with my dad and watched that movie. Maybe next time I go visit him, he'll probably, I'll probably sit down with him then. Awakened Black Heterosexual, what's going on? Rael, many of the popular content creators don't want to see consolidation because it would mean they would have to be under more qualified men. Hmm. Interesting point. Who raised you boy say YouTube is against the black man? Let me tell you something. Western media is against the black man. Western media is. MC Light was in the song too. There were lots of rappers in it. Yeah. There were. Like I said, it was like the rap version of We Are the World. Rael says a few years ago you had major content creators who sold out for the females but they talk now like that shit didn't happen. Some of us been around long enough to know what happened. Yeah. hmm Awakened black heterosexual. A lot of these same content creators didn't like KS, but now using his same talking points. Yep. Yep. Hybrid says, Rael, there's some dudes on Facebook pulling a Derrick Jackson and throwing black men under the bus. Mary. Yeah. Yeah. Hurry up and buy says, Rael facts. It's funny how all this shit pivoted once Derrick Jackson fumbled the bag and KS was ready to jump in. Hence the phrase, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Hmm. Re-up says social media is temporary, get in and get out. Yeah, I'm trying to get it while the getting is good. Yeah. But look, time time tells on us all. Time tells on us all. And if these content creators really aren't doing anything that's right, I mean, which from what I can see, collectively, you got millions of views on that screen right there. You got millions of views and over a million subs. You got thousands upon thousands of subs on that screen right there. I mean, some of the guys are bigger than the others. Um, um, especially like some like Kevin Samuels within himself. He had over a million subs and he had millions of views. Rest in peace, brother. But even if you took Kevin Samuels out of this graphic, um, you still got thousands upon thousands upon thousands. You probably got a million subs between all these guys. Like I said, if you take out Kevin Samuels, and you still got millions upon millions of views. Let these guys do their thing. If your content is better than these guys' content, then let the numbers show it. Let the people decide. Giving these guys giving these guys labels in an attempt to make them look bad, that's just going to make you look bad. But I don't know. Maybe these guys already figured they look bad. Yakuza series, Generation Official said all them pro blacks are trash. I don't take them serious at all. SYSBM for life. Raven Knight, peace to the chat. RIPKS, don't worry, he's waiting for the next to take his place. We're on his watch now. Hurry up and buy says the market will dictate whoever is up next. Yeah, 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 they will. Yeah, they will. But leave Roger out of that shit. Seriously. The bottom line, kids learn from the Black Manosphere at the end of the day. Shit, he pushed our talking points. He pushed our talking points. All right. Cash App from Shaka Nulu. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much. Thank you for y'all support, man. I'll put that cash to good use. Yeah. Re-up says, if black men work together, they got a network reach of at least a million black men. Yeah. Yeah. Look, guys, this manosphere, this space, and all the black men that are in it, even black men in general that aren't necessarily in the black manosphere. Uh, this, and I've stated this before. This is a golden opportunity. This is a golden opportunity for all of us who are not pleased with the way that we're represented in the media. That we can take this bull by the horn and we can just really run with it. We can really run with it. I mean, and here's my philosophy on here's my philosophy on talking about females. I'm not the biggest fan of talking about them all the time, every minute of every day, or every minute of every broadcast, or making them the topic every broadcast. I'm not a fan of that. But if someone is making it work on their platform, who am I to hate? A lot of people think KS, well, he was just, and I hate this word. He was just bashing black women, and he was disrespecting black women. He was disrespecting sisters. I was like, KS started out his platform talking to brothers. Shoot, and guess what? He wasn't very easy on those brothers either. And guess what? None of the brothers made a big deal of it. None of the brothers said that Kevin Samuels was trashing brothers. He was a man hater. He hated black men. None of us said that. None of us did. In fact, you probably had more brothers laughing at the brothers that would take their stupid ass up there to Kevin Samuels and say all that stupid shit. You had more brothers roasting the brothers that went to Kevin Samuels with that dumb shit. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. We've been socialized. We've been socialized to not make that a big deal. Say whatever you want to about the brothers. We've been socialized into that. It ain't a big deal when you talk about brothers. It's not. But when he started talking to sisters, it became a big deal because we, as a Western culture, we're not conditioned to be used to that. So it's seen as disrespect. Hybrid catastrophic impact S83rd power says men can take criticism generally and better themselves. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. And a lot of people will try to say that's a lie, but brothers generally can. Now, for the brothers who like, there are plenty of brothers that can't. I'll tell you that much. Hence the title of this stream. But for the most part, for the most part, brothers are much better with taking criticism, and it's really is for a reason that's not that great because we kind of had to. Superfly, the Superfly gamer cool some. He said they not going to stop. They want Roger to. We're all in the same gang. That's how they see it. We all manosphere. Yakuza series generation official says, I have mixed feelings about what I want a white woman, but pro blacks always calling people sell out for not dating a sister. End of the day, I'm going to date outside and make me feel happy myself. By all means, brother. Look. I have a series of videos that I do on this channel called the Dick Police, And the reason why I do that is because of young brothers who had to face that pro black hotep shit of dating outside the race and being criticized for it. And notice that sisters, and is the comparison to sisters. I mean, I try not to put too much of a light on that because that's what they do with us. Every time something happens with them, they always try to low key blame us. But if anyone notices, it's like sisters don't get treated near as bad for dating out, even by black men, even by the brothers. But when a brother dates out, he gets shitted on by everybody. A lot of hotep ass niggas and a lot of bitches. Brother gets and I'm one of the ones that acknowledge that. So yeah, I might have to start like organizing my channel. You know how people have like videos in certain categories. I might do that for my channel, so you won't have to go looking for those videos. But uh, I might do that toward the end of this week. Make a playlist of all my dick police videos. Yakuza goes on to say, and that's the reason why I can't stand them pro act. They think can date out, be happy, don't let them shame you, black men. Yeah, yeah, go where you're appreciated. I tell that to the sisters too. Go where you're appreciated. If a black man is not your thing, go shit. Shit, if you feel like Brad can make you happier and you find a Brad, shit, hey, you like it, I love it. Cortez, Yakuza, but your mama black. Hybrid, but your mama black. Me, yes, she is, and so am I. Your point? Weather says black men act scared when it comes to dating out, and love transcends race. Cortez Smith says, Kev, a dude actually made a video titled Black Men Can't Handle a Strong Black Woman. LMAO in 2022 after 40 years. Can't handle a strong black woman, or we just don't want to deal with a bitch. I mean, my wife is black. I mean, that was totally my choice. I mean, and believe me, I could have had me another race. I could have had me a white woman. Shit, I could have had me an Arab woman. The one that got away. No, not really. But, I could have dated out myself, but I was just one of those guys that, just wanted a black woman, at the time. Like if anything happened to me and my wife, and this is not for anyone out there to try to, run with or anything like that. Man, shoot, I might not ever get married again. And it's because of what's out here. I mean, I don't like Umar Johnson. He's a clown. I think there are many people that would agree with you. Cortez Smith, whether brother is sad, black men try to trick themselves into believing they aren't attracted to non-black women. They fight biology just to prove themselves to black women. Hmm. Said don't put other races of women on a pedestal either. Yeah, that is one thing to keep in mind. Women are women. Women are, you have a lot of people making that point. Women are women, and no matter where you go, whether they're white, black, Asian, Hispanic, women are women. But that would further reinforce the point where it doesn't matter if you're with a black woman or not. They like Rhea was trying to say that they all have the same issues, but um There are some people that will disagree with that as well. The man said, Weather said it only takes a Maria one time to say "I pappy" during sex. Brothers will see the light. Raider Blue says, black women love anal. Okay. Uh, 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 yeah. Uh, Cortez Smith says at the gym, several slim, thick, non-black women walk past us, and black men say nothing. As soon as a subpar black women walk by, they get all excited. Well, here's what I will say to that. Well, that's their prerogative. Rael says that a fat ass is a fat ass. Niggas need to stop the cap like they won't hit a pog. And pog is an acronym for fat ass white girl. Awakened Black Heterosexual said, I married a long time ago, but I wouldn't do it today with the mentality that these women have. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Yeah, something happened to me and my wife. I don't know what I do, man. I mean, I know what I would do, but I don't believe that getting married would be in those cards. Rio said, I've seen brothers bring women in from third world countries that played submissive until they learned family law. Shoot. Kind of like, that kind of like goes back to what Eddie Murphy said back in his back in Eddie Murphy when Eddie Murphy Raw came out about go get you a bush bitch and then but don't let her around America don't let her around these women over here in America because they'll take half. Mike Shinnery, what's going on? Man said half Eddie. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Uh, Hybrid Catastrophic Impact X83rd Power says if you marry overseas, keep them there and or bring her with their traditional parents to keep that shit in check. Cortez Smith said the notion that foreign women change is exaggerated. I've never seen it happen in real life, but those cases, the women were already bad. Let me tell y'all something for real, for real. Just make sure you're on point. Make sure you're on point as a person. It and this is something that I was told a long time ago. If you whack in Alabama, your ass is gonna be whack in Georgia. Your ass is gonna be whack over in the UK. Your ass will be whack in Japan. The end of the day, you still a whack ass dude. And a lot of females will pick on that, up on that, no matter what. You ain't gonna be, you're not gonna be super soldier. You're not gonna be generally a whack dude, but then all of a sudden you go somewhere else and you become super soldier. Weather says black women have a hard time coping with the fact that a non-black nine is on par with, and in some cases, better looking than a B Dub who's a 9 or a 10. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, guys, I'm about to I'm about to get out of here. Um, Look, I really appreciate the donations, the cash apps, and the super chats. Those are those are appreciated, but I also appreciate being able to come to YouTube to uh, do my thing basically. And in closing, gonna say this: don't hate, congratulate. Um, Trying to put some label on some content creators so they would be implicated in another hit list is not going to work. It's not gonna work. And the reason why I say it's not gonna work is because if you're looking for special favor from the sisterhood, just put the gun in your mouth right now. They're going to come for you anyway because you're a black man that is speaking without permission, and they don't like that. People are socialized in Western culture to not like when a black man does that. You can be any other race of man and you can say whatever the fuck you want, like Howard Stern, and no one will have a problem with it. Not even people within your own group or own race, which is, by the way, I'm becoming more and more privy to the realization that we are a constructed culture as far as black people. Not saying that we shouldn't try unity every now and again, but if black men ever got it figured out and we were to somehow unify under the same accord, not monolithic, but if we were to able to push our agenda and our ideas amongst each other, we would be an unstoppable force. But don't hold your breath. Um, you but back to what I was saying was SBE is probably a thing, but to put that label on certain content creators is not going to make things better for you. It's not. So whatever these guys were trying to pull with that shit, I don't care. But don't involve a habitual line stepper with that shit. Roger's a grown man, but at the same time, he's part of the habitual line stepper crew. So please, please, please tread lightly on that shit. And it just don't mess with fam. But it's tough enough out here for black men anyway. And I'm not trying to get everybody to break out the violins or bring in the pity party and say, "Hey, black man, it's gonna be okay," and pat us on the head and the back and tell us everything is gonna be fine. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to give you the reality, and the reality is this: stand 10 toes down and grow some nuts. Say what the fuck you want to say and fuck everybody else. Fuck what the haters got to say. Don't let anybody control you. Period. So, thank you all for your astute observations in the chat. You guys are always a gift. And I'm out of here. Long live the habitual line steppers. In Kev we trust. I'm gonna win. And when that happens, we all win. Peace out.